What's up guys, JNO here, and today it's what you've been waiting for. You've all been excited for midfield and strikers, so today we go over the best midfielders in the BPL for Fantasy Premier League in the first 8 game weeks. Okay, so first off, honourable mentions. There won't be any graphics coming up or anything like that, but there will be some surprise names in these honourable mentions. These are players with the good underlying stats that could have got them into the top 5, but they just missed out. And the first one is Eden Hazard. Yes, I said Eden Hazard, part of a Chelsea team that is underperforming at the moment. But that being said, he's creating chances, he's getting in the box, his touches in the box are quite high. He has all the underlying stats to suggest he should start scoring points. But the problem is, in an underperforming side, will that ever happen? If Chelsea pick up, I reckon Hazard is going to be one of the players that's going to start racking in the points. Other players that miss out are Ozil and Walcott. Now you can probably guess why they've missed out in the top 5, but they both have great underlying stats, and when they play together they actually do better as a pair than when they play separately. So those are 2 players you should keep an eye on. Coutinho actually has great underlying stats, and with Jurgen Klopp coming in, he may thrive under a new manager or he may drop off, so we have to keep an eye on him as well. Jesus Navas, he is actually someone with great underlying stats, but I'm not too sure about his finishing in his final cross, so he's one of those that has really good underlying stats, but I just couldn't put him into the top 5. And then finally you have Tadic from Southampton, great assist man, getting in there to score some goals now as well this season. It may have just been he needed a season to get used to the Premier League, but now we'll move on to the top 5, and the first of the top 5 is Kevin De Bruyne. Now, he has actually had less games than the majority of midfielders that I'm going to talk about, but his performance in those games have made me think that he's worthy of getting to the 5th spot. Maybe not in any higher than that. He has actually got 3 goals and 2 assists in less appearances than some midfielders have had who have got less than that. Coming at 10.3 million, he is quite expensive, but he is on 35 points already. He's created 13 chances for his teammates, which doesn't look too bad against some of the other players in this top 5. Attempts on goal, he's had 12. Only 4 have been inside the box, but if you saw one of his goals against Newcastle, you'll know he can finish inside and outside the box, so make sure those stats don't put you off Kevin De Bruyne. And shots on target, he's had 6. With Aguero and Silva both being injury doubts now, and with Yaya Toure being very on and off, I think Kevin De Bruyne is the Man City man that you need for that Man City coverage. Coming in at number 4 is Dimitri Payet. The only reason he is at number 4 and not any higher is because I don't feel like the underlying stats suggest many goals. Now yes, he has scored 3 goals and got 4 assists, which is great for this far into the season, but the underlying stats don't suggest many more goals, but they do suggest a lot more assists. Coming in at 8.1 million and on 59 points already, it's fair to say Dimitri Payet has come in with the hype from the French League and performed. He's created 32 chances for his teammates. He is the one that's creating everything in that West Ham team right now. Attempts on goal, he's only had 12, 6 of which have been inside the box. Shots on target, he's only had 7 shots on target. So out of those 7, 3 have gone in. Do I think he can keep that conversion rate up? I'm not too sure. But assists wise, with that many chances created, he's bound to get assists in games, and I think he may be one of the reliable players to put the captain armband on if you're not too sure who to put it on. Okay, so coming in at number 3 is Alexis Sanchez. Now I know that may surprise some of you, but when I was looking at this, I wanted someone that would get assists and goals, and the assists for Alexis Sanchez are not piling up. He doesn't have the underlying stats to suggest that they will, but that doesn't mean he's not a great fantasy football asset. Coming in at 11.2 million with 53 points so far. That is a great overhaul in total, but at that price you expect those kind of points. Goals so far, he's had 5, but in 2 games he got all 5 of those goals, so it took him a while to get going. Do I think it will keep going with those underlying stats? Yes, I do, but he's a very impactful player. He'll have a couple of game weeks where he doesn't do much for you, and then he will score loads. Assists, he's had none so far, and he's only created 11 chances for his teammates, which means he's the one getting on the end of those, which of course is great, for getting the points, but I'm looking for someone that can do a bit of both. Attempts on goal, this is where he stands above the rest. 41 attempts on goal, 31 of which have been inside the box. That is better than the majority of strikers in the BPL so far this season. And shots on target, he's had 12. So if you're going to not have Alexis Sanchez, you need someone who's going to score you regular points and then not be too drawn in to his massive scores when he is on form in a game. Coming in at number 2 is Sadio Mane. Now, he doesn't have as many points as other people, but the underlying stats suggest he will be one of the best scoring midfielders this season, fantasy football wise. Coming in at 7.9 million, he has 44 points, which isn't too far behind the leaders in the midfield pack. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists so far this season. He's created 13 chances for his teammates and has had 23 shots, 17 of which have been inside the box. Shots on target, he's had 10, that's only 1 less than Sanchez, and the reason he's above Sanchez is he's got that assist and goal scoring part to his game, and at a much cheaper price. I don't think he'll be that far behind if he can keep these underlying stats up. Finally, we get to the number 1 spot, and it's the man that has taken this year's fantasy football by storm. It's Riyad Marez. Coming in at 6.5 million, which is not what his price started at. I think he's risen by $1 million, and I think he started at 5.5. He has got 60 points so far this season. Those 60 points have come from 5 goals and 3 assists, which makes him easily the number 1 choice as far as what he's actually managed to get points wise in fantasy football. Chances created, he's got 18 chances created, nowhere near Payet's, but a lot higher than some of the players in this top 5. Attempts on goal, he's had 23 attempts on goal, 13 of which have been inside the box. Shots on target, he's up there with 11. Now the only problem with Riyad Marez is the fact that he plays for Leicester under Claudio Ranieri, who is known as the Tinker Man, and Ranieri disappointed a lot of people in Game Week 8 by dropping Marez. Why he did that, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was a slight injury concern. Maybe I'm worrying a bit too much about nothing. Hopefully Marez will stay in the first 11 for the majority of this season. Anyway guys, that's been my top 5. You may not necessarily agree with the order, but I think those top 5 are the top 5 choices for midfielders in the Premier League at the moment. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Please like and subscribe, especially like if you like this series, and remember, it's all about the game.